There is a woman in Kyoto who, at 61, possesses the skin and the energy of a woman 20 years her junior. She does not do this through expensive creams or surgical interventions. She does it by avoiding the silent, cellular fire that consumes the Western body from the inside out. In the West, we have normalized a process called glycation, the caramelization of our own tissues. We consume a diet riddled with refined sugars and fast carbohydrates, and every time we do, we are essentially hardening our own biology. This isn't just about weight, it's about the structural integrity of your life. While the Western diet keeps the body in a permanent state of emergency, the Japanese philosophy of jisoku, finding satisfaction in the subtle, natural sweetness of whole foods, allows the body to remain in a state of grace. Habit 1 is the constant, unconscious consumption of refined sugars that catalyze the formation of AGEs, advanced glycation end products.
When you eat a fast carbohydrate, your blood glucose spikes, forcing the pancreas to dump insulin into your system. This excess glucose then attaches itself to your collagen and elastin fibers, turning them from soft, pliable structures into stiff, brittle, yellowed cables. This is literally sugar aging. But the damage goes deeper. This chronically high insulin level blocks your pituitary gland from secreting somatotropin, the master growth hormone responsible for cellular repair and nighttime regeneration. You are effectively killing your own anti-aging system. You are trading your future vitality for a 2-minute dopamine patch. The Japanese perspective on jisoku teaches us that joy is found in the essence of the ingredient, not the chemical spike of added sugar. The shift. Stop using food as a stress reliever. When you choose whole, unrefined foods, you aren't just eating healthy. You are protecting your collagen fibers from hardening and keeping your growth hormone production running through the night. You are choosing to age like a sculpture, not like a piece of burnt toast. Habit 2 is the chaos protocol of eating. We have become a culture of disordered intake. We start our meals with simple, sugary carbohydrates or jump straight to heavy proteins without the protective buffer of fiber. Physiologically, this is a disaster. Without fiber to act as a glucose mesh, the sugar hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave, followed by a violent crash an hour later. This crash triggers your HPA axis, dumping cortisol into your system just to stabilize your blood sugar. Cortisol is a collagen-destroying hormone. It is the enemy of youth. It breaks down your muscle mass and your skin's structural proteins to fuel the emergency of the sugar crash. You are trapped in a cycle where your own hunger signals, leptin and ghrelin, are completely misfiring. The Japanese protocol of tabekata, starting with fibrous vegetables, followed by protein, and ending with carbohydrates, is a biological genius. It creates a protective layer in your gut, slowing down glucose absorption and keeping your hormones balanced. You are not just eating in order, you are keeping your insulin curve flat. You are ending the war between your hunger and your hormones. You are finally, after all these years, giving your body a chance to stop fighting itself and start rebuilding. We have addressed the sugar that hardens your tissues, but now we must confront the habit that is literally drying you out from the inside. We are a civilization of the caffeine dependent. We wake up in a state of natural, evolutionary dehydration. Your body has spent 8 hours repairing itself, using up its fluid reserves, and your blood volume is at its daily low. And what do? We walk into the kitchen and reach for the coffee. We hit an already dehydrated, cortisol-rising body with a concentrated stimulant. Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has warned us that this is like pouring fuel on a fire that is already lit. You are not energizing. You are forcing your adrenal glands into a state of panic before you have even had the chance to truly wake up. Habit 3 is the cortisol-caffeine collision. Your body has a natural daily mechanism called the cortisol awakening response, CAR. Within 30 minutes of waking, your natural cortisol levels climb by nearly 50%. This is your body's way of saying, I am awake, I am ready. When you drink coffee during this peak, you are layering exogenous caffeine on top of an endogenous stress hormone. This creates a cortisol shocker. It causes instant vasoconstriction, the narrowing of your blood vessels. Your skin, your prefrontal cortex, and your vital organs receive 20% to 30% less blood flow in that critical first hour of the day. You are literally starving your face of the nutrients it needs to look plump and radiant. You are sacrificing your skin's elasticity for a jolt of jittery, anxious energy that triggers the Zeigarnik effect, the mental itch to fix every problem at once, leaving your brain fried by noon. The Japanese morning ritual is the opposite of this combat. They respect the nadir of the morning. They allow their cortisol to peak and decline naturally before introducing any stimulant. By waiting, they allow their nervous system to enter a parasympathetic state, preserving their vitamin C stores and preventing the chemical burnout that creates those fine lines around the eyes and the gray, tired complexion that we mistake for working hard. Habit 4 is chronic intracellular dehydration. Caffeine is not just a stimulant. It is a mild diuretic that actively pulls sodium, magnesium, and potassium out of your cells. We are a culture that walks around in a state of subclinical drought. Your cells are literally shriveling like raisins in the sun. When you don't hydrate properly, your lymphatic system, the body's sewage plant, slows to a crawl. Toxins accumulate in the interstitial spaces between your cells, leading to that puffy, swollen look we often attribute to getting old. But it isn't age, it is stagnation. Your brain, swimming in a reduced volume of cerebrospinal fluid, struggles to process information, resulting in that dull, morning stupidity and chronic headaches. The Japanese practice of sayu, drinking warm water upon waking, is the ultimate biological hack against this drought. While the Western world is guzzling iced lattes, the Japanese are stimulating their vagus nerve with warmth. This warm water creates a physiological flush, signaling the digestive system to wake up and the lymphatic system to begin its daily purge of metabolic waste. It is a hydration-first philosophy that keeps your cells plump, your skin supple, and your brain's cooling system functioning at high speed. You are not just drinking water, you are ensuring that your internal environment is fluid, not stagnant. You are preventing the cell shrinkage that defines the appearance of aging. By choosing to hydrate before you stimulate, you are giving your cells the raw material they need to regenerate, rather than forcing them to operate in a state of toxic dehydration. You are finally treating your body as a water-based organism, not a coffee-powered machine. When you stop the drought, you stop the decay. We have focused on what you put into your body, but we must now address the most fundamental biological rhythm that dictates whether you bloom or wither, the rhythm of your breath. In the West, we have largely forgotten how to breathe. We have become a culture of mouth breathers, especially during sleep. We toss and turn on our cloud-like mattresses with our jaws slack, unaware that this simple physical habit is a master key to the aging process. The Japanese philosophy of restoration recognizes that sleep is not a passive event. It is an active, high-intensity biological process of total body repair. If you are sleeping with your mouth open, you are not recovering, you are surviving. You are triggering a cascade of hormonal chaos that accelerates aging at the level of your very DNA. Habit 5 is the nocturnal hypoxia trap. When you breathe through your mouth while sleeping, you bypass the nasal passages. You lose the mechanical filtering of air, but more importantly, you lose the massive production of nitric oxide, a molecule that your sinuses generate specifically to dilate your blood vessels and ensure oxygen gets deep into your tissues.
Without nasal breathing, your blood oxygen saturation drops by up to 20% throughout the night. Your brain, the most sensitive organ to oxygen deprivation, perceives this as a life-threatening crisis. Your amygdala, that ancient survival center, spikes with alarm, triggering the release of adrenaline and cortisol to wake you up just enough to restore your breathing. This is a micro-arousal cycle that repeats dozens of times a night. You are never reaching the deep, restorative NREM sleep, where your body is supposed to secrete somatotropin, the growth hormone that is the literal fountain of youth. You are spending your nights in a state of high-stress vigilance. The Japanese tradition of sleeping on a firm futon, with your head positioned in a way that naturally promotes nasal alignment, ensures that you stay in the deep sleep zone. When you breathe through your nose, you are calm. Your heart rate is low, and your body is allowed to devote 100% of its energy to the repair of collagen, the regeneration of skin cells, and the balancing of your endocrine system. You aren't just sleeping, you are undergoing a nightly biological renovation. Habit 6 is the melatonin and glymphatic blockade. We live in a world of blue light. After sunset, the Westerner continues to bathe in the cool spectrum light of their smartphone, laptop, and overhead LEDs. This light, specifically in the 450 to 480 nanometer range, hits the special photoreceptors in your eyes, the IPRGCs, and sends a signal directly to the suprachiasmatic nucleus in your hypothalamus. The sun is high, it is midday, do not rest. This instantly shuts down the pineal gland's production of melatonin. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it is the most powerful antioxidant in your body. It is the janitor that unlocks the glymphatic system, a sophisticated plumbing network that only opens during deep sleep to pump cerebrospinal fluid through your brain, literally washing away the trash of the day, the beta-amyloid plaques and metabolic toxins that cause cognitive decline and accelerated mental aging. Without the melatonin surge, the glymphatic system remains closed. The toxins stay in your brain. You wake up physically polluted by your own metabolic debris. This is the root of the brain fog and the dull look that we assume is just part of getting older. The Japanese concept of seijaku, active stillness, is the counter strategy. They transition to warm, dim lighting as the evening progresses, protecting their internal darkness to ensure the melatonin floodgates open wide. The shift, sunset, is the signal to dim your world. By limiting blue light exposure and choosing a calm, dark environment for the evening, you are not just preparing for bed, you are initiating the nightly flushing of your brain's waste products. You are clearing the neurotoxic buildup that causes you to look and feel aged. You are not depriving yourself of technology. You are giving your brain the silence and the darkness it needs to perform its most essential, life-extending function. When you protect your melatonin, you protect your future. You stop the accumulation of cellular waste, and in doing so, you keep the architecture of your brain and skin younger, sharper, and clearer for decades longer than those who ignore the power of the dark. We have discussed the internal chemistry of aging, but we must now address the physical cage you have built around your own vitality. In the West, we have normalized a posture that is biologically disastrous, the tech neck.
We spend our days hunched over smartphones, tablets, and laptops, with our heads jutting forward like a turtle retreating into its shell. We think this is a harmless habit of the digital age, but in reality, it is a catastrophic mechanical failure. Your neck is meant to support the weight of your head, which is roughly 5 kilograms. But when you lean that head forward at a 60-degree angle, the force exerted on your cervical spine increases to nearly 30 kilograms. You are effectively carrying a heavy weight on your neck for 12 hours a day. This is not just a slouch. This is a systematic dismantling of your facial structure and your cognitive performance. Habit 7 is the tech neck and lymphatic stagnation. When your head is pulled forward, the deep muscles of your neck enter a state of chronic, locked-in spasm. These muscles are not designed for this constant, immense load. They become rigid, compressing the very structures that are meant to keep your face youthful. You are physically strangling the pathways of your own beauty. The tightening of the neck muscles restricts the vertebral arteries, reducing the oxygenated blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, causing that nagging mid-afternoon dullness. And, more importantly, it blocks the delicate lymphatic drainage system. Your face relies on a clear, open highway of lymphatic vessels to whisk away waste, excess fluid, and inflammatory debris. When the neck is locked, this highway is closed. The fluid builds up around your eyes, creating the bags you try to hide with concealer. The tissues in your cheeks begin to lose their structural support, leading to the ptosis, or sagging, that we mistakenly call just getting older. This isn't age, it is gravity and neglect. The Japanese practice of realigning the body, using methods like fukutsudzi or mindful seiza, kneeling, is not just a posture trick, it is a structural renovation. They understand that to keep the face lifted, you must keep the neck open. By consciously realigning the head over the shoulders, you are reopening the lymphatic floodgates, allowing your face to drain naturally and stay firm. You are not fixing your back, you are lifting your entire face through the simple, radical act of standing up straight. Habit 8 is the vagal blockade. Your neck is the home of the vagus nerve, the superhighway that connects your gut to your brain and dictates your ability to enter a state of calm. When you spend your life slumped forward, you are physically crushing this nerve. You are essentially kinking the hose of your own parasympathetic nervous system. A suppressed vagal tone means that your body cannot easily move out of the fight or flight stress state. Even when you are technically relaxing on the couch, your nervous system is trapped in a defensive, high-tension mode. This leads to chronic, low-level systemic inflammation, which is the engine of all aging. It causes your heart rate to remain stubbornly high. It disrupts your digestion, leading to that axis of gut-brain toxicity. And it keeps your body in a state of hormonal fear. The Japanese culture, which values the poise of the seiza posture, sitting on the heels with a perfectly vertical spine, isn't doing this for show. They are doing it to keep the vagus nerve uncompressed and the body in a state of metabolic readiness. When you hold your spine in its natural anatomical axis, the vagus nerve is free, the heartbeat slows, the digestive fire is optimized, and the brain receives a constant, rhythmic, all-clear signal. You stop feeling that background, low-level dread that causes you to chew your nails or clench your jaw. You finally enter a state of rest and digest, where your cells can actually afford to spend energy on repair rather than defense. The shift. Recognize that your posture is a biological command. When you hunch, you command your cells to die. When you lengthen, you command them to heal. By correcting your posture, you are not just looking better, you are finally allowing the master controller of your body to switch from stress to regeneration. You are finally, physically, giving your body the permission to stop aging in a hurry and start living with the structural integrity of the youth you think you have left behind. We have arrived at the final, most devastating habit, a habit so deeply ingrained in Western culture that we no longer recognize it as a choice. We are living in an era of multisensory dopamine stacking. We are never doing just one thing. We are eating while watching a video. We are walking while listening to an aggressive podcast. We are working while scrolling through news notifications. We treat our brains like infinite capacity processors, believing that we are maximally efficient. But the biology of the brain is not a computer. It is a biological organism that requires rhythm, focus, and most importantly, the ability to be bored. By constantly overstimulating our neural circuitry, we are inducing a state of chronic, systemic microinflammation that is silently eroding our cells and accelerating our biological clock. Habit 9 is the dopamine stacking addiction. Every time you layer 2 or 3 sources of stimulation, you are forcing your brain's nucleus accumbens to process a deluge of neurochemical signals. This is not a multitasking success. It is a neurological bombardment. Your brain, in a desperate attempt to protect itself from this toxic overload, begins to downregulate its D2 dopamine receptors. It literally makes itself less sensitive to pleasure. You are suffering from anhedonia, the inability to enjoy the simple, natural rhythms of life. To keep yourself functioning, your brain is forced to ramp up the production of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to compensate for the numbness you've created. This chronic, artificial stimulation keeps your cells in a permanent state of high-intensity panic. It forces your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, to work at an unsustainable rate, which produces a massive amount of reactive oxygen species, or free radicals. These free radicals are the primary drivers of cellular decay. They are the microscopic saboteurs that break down your DNA, shorten your life, and make you look and feel older than you are. The Japanese practice of seijaku, finding stillness in the middle of chaos, is the only antidote. It is the practice of doing one thing and doing it with total, singular focus. When you eat, you eat. When you walk, you walk. By stripping away the sensory noise, you allow your dopamine receptors to recover their sensitivity. You stop the overclocking of your cells. You stop the free radical damage. You are finally allowing your mitochondria to rest. Habit 10 is the information overload and telomere erosion. We are addicted to the constant flickering feed of global crisis, social comparison, and endless trivial information. We think we are informed, but we are actually keeping our amygdala in a state of chronic alarm. There is a profound biological cost to this. Your chromosomes are protected by tiny, caps-like structures called telomeres. Every time a cell divides, these telomeres get slightly shorter. Think of them as the fuses on your lifespan. When you are under chronic, low-level stress, the kind you get from being constantly plugged into the global panic of the internet, your body produces high levels of cortisol and oxidative stress. This stress directly inhibits the activity of telomerase, the enzyme that is supposed to repair and lengthen these caps. You are effectively burning your own fuses at both ends. You are literally dying faster because you cannot stop reading the comment section. This is the ultimate secret of the Japanese approach, found in danshari, the art of mentally and physically discarding the non-essential. The Japanese minimalists understand that their mental bandwidth is a limited resource. By choosing to ignore the constant flickering noise of the world, they protect their telomeres from the damage of chronic stress. They choose to live in the here and now, where the only problems that exist are the ones they can solve. They are not victims of the world's chaos. They are the architects of their own tranquility. The shift is radical. You must decide to unplug. You must decide that your biological longevity is more important than being the first to know about a disaster happening 6,000 miles away. This is your final catharsis. Look at the path we have laid out through these 10 habits. The Western way of life is a machine that runs on the exhaustion of your cells. It runs on sugar, on caffeine, on shallow breath, on slouched postures, and on the constant, frantic consumption of noise. It is designed to wear you down, to extract your energy, and to leave you looking and feeling like a hollowed-out version of yourself. But you are not a machine. You are a biological system capable of profound, lifelong regeneration. The Japanese secret is not about expensive lotions or secret surgeries. It is about the radical decision to stop the abuse, stop the sugar spike, stop the caffeine assault, breathe through your nose, correct your posture, and stop the dopamine massacre. Your body is a masterpiece of design, but it can only heal if you stop getting in its way. Tonight, change one thing. Put the phone in the other room. Drink a glass of warm water. Sit in the quiet. Reclaim your mitochondria, protect your telomeres, and watch as the years begin to slip away from your biological clock. You are one decision away from a life that isn't just long, but one that is truly, vibrantly young. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.